Proximity coverage over. Backup activated. System rebooted. Warning, entering the zone. Warning, we're exiting the safe area. Rogue agent, neutralized.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today I'm bringing you guys another Division video. Today's video is going to be talking about the NinjaBike backpack build that I've been tweaking, I've been messing with. I brought you this same build a couple months ago when 1.8 dropped, and I've made a lot of tweaks to it, and that build was specifically for last day in a skirmish, and I wanted something that I could run with the NinjaBike backpack, but do it effectively in the DZ. If you guys haven't watched my last video, the most underestimated build in the game at the moment, my Banshee Savage glove build, definitely check that one out. I still use that one a lot. It's a lot of fun and it hits really hard, especially when you run against rogue agents. But if you guys want something else that hits just as hard, this is the build for you. Remember, if you're new to my channel, it's the first time you're watching a video, hit that subscribe button. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you have any questions after watching this video, use the comment section down below. So let's get into the build, guys. So the first thing you're going to notice is I'm running 2 Pred, 2 Banshee, high-end gloves, and a NinjaBike backpack. Now, my primary firepower is 453,000. That's firearms is 6,400. My toughness is 479,000. That's stamina 6,500. And my skill power is 88,000, and that's electronics of 2,900. Now, the reason why I'm running 2-piece Pred, 2-piece Banshee, and a NinjaBike backpack is because I'll unlock the 3-piece bonus on my Pred and the 3-piece bonus on my Banshee. So let's see what those 3-piece bonuses are. So for our Predator's Mark, you're going to see that I'm going to unlock set bonus 2, which is 10% reload speed, and then I'm also going to get that set bonus 3 assault rifle damage 8%, and then 8% SMG damage. For Banshee, I get the set bonus 2, which is plus 20% looted DZ funds. I personally wish this had something more focused on PvP, since Banshee is a PvP driven build, but what I'm really looking for is set bonus 3 plus 10% damage to targets out of cover. So all those targets out of cover, I'm going to get that additional 10% damage towards them. So let's break down each piece right now. So for the chest piece, it's rolled stamina, it has exotic damage resilience, it has health, and it has ammo capacity. For the mods, I'm running firearm mods with 1% critical hit chance. For the mask, I'm running a Banshee Shadow mask. It's rolled stamina, it has critical hit chance, and it has burn resistance. Now, if you want, you could take off the critical hit chance here and put exotic damage resilience. That way you'll be in around the 20% exotic damage resilience range. The mods I'm running are firearm mods with 1% critical hit chance. For the knee pads, these are Predator Mark knee pads. The road stamina, the major attribute is critical hit damage. The minor attributes are shock resistance, disorient resistance, and disrupt resistance. For the mods, I'm running firearm mods with 1% critical hit chance, and the performance mod with 5% support station healing speed. But if I'm going to run a booster shot, I'll probably run a 6% first aid self heal. Since most of the time I do run a disruptor with this build, I like running that 5% support station healing speed. That way I can leave it on the ground, let it heal me, and then when I need to explode it, I will explode it. Now for the backpack, the NinjaBike messenger bag. Now this backpack is the reason why I'm able to unlock set bonuses for gear sets. So the way it works is if I'm running 2 Predator Mark, it's going to let me unlock the set bonus 3 as if I had a 3rd piece of Predator Mark. but this works for multiple stacks. So that's why you can do 2 Pred, 2 Banshee, and then you'll get the 3-piece Banshee and the 3-piece Pred. That's why the NinjaBike backpack is one of those backpacks that work great for when you want to put a bunch of builds together. This backpack is great not only for PvP, but great for PvE, especially for a lot of you guys who don't have full classify sets. And then having a NinjaBike messenger bag gives you just more options to create different builds. This backpack is rolled firearms. The major attribute is critical hit damage, and the minor attribute is bleed resistance. For the mods, I'm running firearm mods with critical hit chance, and then of course those performance mods with 5% support station healing speed. Now for the high-end gloves I'm running these Savage gloves. If you guys haven't noticed, Savage gloves are still pretty good, guys. They work amazing with a lot of your builds, and especially if you don't plan on running some type of pulse because you're running solo, you want to have your critical hit chance as close to maxed out as possible as you can. And with Savage gloves, critical hit chance is increased by 7% against targets out of cover, which is amazing. So if you're at 50%, you're almost maxed out at 60% because you'll be up at 57%. And then even if you put a precision talent on, you'll be fully maxed out at 60% as soon as you hit that headshot. Now I always like having my Savage gloves rolled with critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and then depending on what type of weapon I plan on using, since I am building this build off of the house, I run SMG damage. Now if I was going to use my lightweight M4, I would put assault rifle damage on here. Now these are rolled firearms, and then they have SMG damage, critical hit chance, and the critical hit damage. Now for the holster, it's rolled critical hit chance because I'm stacking as much critical hit chance on this build as possible. Once I go into battle, I want to be able to drop that player as quick as possible, and if I can burst damage them with the most damage, with the most critical hit chance shots, with the most critical hit damage, they're more likely to drop before they have a chance to pop a med kit, before they have the chance to drop their immune box. I can keep applying that pressure on them, causing them to drop. So with this build, you want to run it with 2 weapons in particular, either the house as your SMG, or if you want to run assault rifle damage, you're going to put a lightweight M4 or LVOA. Those are going to give you the most burst damage you can get on any build right now in PvP. Those are the best guns to use. So either use the lightweight M4, LVOA, or the house. Now I personally have SMG damage on my gloves, so I'm going to run with the house as my primary. This house has 23% critical hit chance. The base damage is 22,000. The talents I have are deadly, critical damage is increased by 15%. Responsive damage is increased by 10% when closer to 10 meters to the target. And then card counter, of course, 1/2 of the magazine does 20% increased damage. The half which deals increased damage flips after 15 seconds or when the magazine is empty. The way I have this modded is the way I have all of my SMG modded. I run a pro red dot sight that has 18% critical hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 2.5 critical hit chance. I run that loud vent break with 18% critical hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 3% critical hit chance. A small grip with 17% critical hit damage, 5% optimal range, and 2% accuracy. And then extended magazine with magazine size, critical hit chance, and rate of fire. Now these 2 mods are not maxed out because my maxed out mods are on my other character. For my secondary, I'm running that lightweight M4. This has 24% enemy armor damage. It has base damage of 19.5k. And as you can see, the reason why this weapon is really good at burst damage is because the high RPM at 850, just like the house. That's why either use the lightweight M4, the LVOA, or the house for this build, because your goal is to really put out as much burst damage as possible. The talents you have are responsive damage is increased by 10% when closer than 10 meters to the target. Deadly, critical hit damage is increased by 15%. For the bottom talent, I have predatory. Killing a target regenerates 35% health over 20 seconds. So what I personally like doing is, say if I'm in PvP and I drop someone with the house, I like switching to my lightweight M4 and finishing them off with my lightweight M4. That way I can get the predatory talent to trigger, and that way I get that 35% health over 20 seconds. And that's really good, especially on a build like this that you don't have a lot of survivability besides you moving around, healing yourself. Predatory gives you that survivability that you need to continue and have long fights. The way I have my lightweight M4 modded is I'm running a mini reflex sight with 7% critical hit chance, 4% critical damage, and 5.5 headshot damage. A loud vent break with 18% critical hit damage, 3% critical chance, and 6% headshot damage. A small grip with 19% critical hit damage, 2.5 stability, and 5% reload speed. And then an extended magazine with magazine size, critical chance, and rate of fire. Now if we get into the skills, you're going to see I'm either running a booster shot, a immune box, or a disruptor. If you are going to run this build and you run across some strikers, I highly recommend you guys switch into the sticky bomb disruptor. Now if it's only one player, you probably don't need to run a disruptor. If it's 2 or more, I highly recommend you guys running a disruptor. Mainly I have a booster shot set up, and this is going to give me that temporary increased damage and damage resistance, and then I run that with an immune box. Now if I'm gonna fight a striker, or if any of you guys run across strikers, just switch that booster shot up and put this disruptor on. The disruptor is gonna stop that striker from building his stacks for a short time. It's going to make them have to use a med kit because they won't be able to drop their immune box, and that will make them waste that med kit, and you could put that damage. Now if they try not to use a med kit, now that kind of freezes them because they're not getting that overheal and they're not getting that damage, and that's the perfect time to bum rush those strikers, and then hopefully you can drop them. And that's how you guys fight those strikers. Those strikers are not that hard to beat, especially if you're running in a group. Just have a couple guys run that disruptor and you'll see the difference really quick. So I'm either running a disruptor or a booster shot. I switch those two out. Always run the immune box, especially now that as long as I have the immune box down and say I run across a predator's mark, he has to shoot the box and then I have enough time to drop him. For the talents, if I am running in a group, I'm always going to run adrenaline no matter what. Med kits now give me 7 seconds of immunity from status effects. I'm going to run critical save, use a med kit during low health to increase that damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. And you definitely want to run combat medic because use a med kit and your allies heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. Now if you're running solo, there's no reason that you need to be running this. I would either run strike back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%, or you can run on the move, kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 15% for 10 seconds. Now I personally like running precision, headshot a hostile to pulse him for 10 seconds, and by running this talent you'll increase your critical hit chance and critical hit damage every time you headshot a hostile. If we get into the character, you're going to see my critical hit chance with this build is 50%, and that's without counting Savage. So if we put my Savage in there, that's an additional 7%, so I'm at 57% critical hit chance. That's 3% off of max, and that's why I like this build, because with a pulse or without a pulse, I'm 3% off of being maxed out at 60%, and that means that I have a high chance of hitting those critical hit damage shots a lot of the time. Now my critical hit damage is 128%. My headshot damage is 62%. My max health is 322,000. My armor mitigation isn't maxed out because this build isn't fully optimized, but I'm working on it. It's at 32%. My exotic damage resilience is a little bit low at 11%, but with the whole nerf to Predator's Mark where you can use adrenaline now or you can use an immune box, I don't really like having 20% exotic damage resilience anymore because I feel like I don't run across as many Predator's Mark as I used to, and if I do, I just leave my box down instead of exploding it, and then I just melt them before they have a chance of melting my box. My bleed resistance is 17%, my burn resistance is 17%, my disorient resistance is 33%, my disrupt is 33%, and my shock is 33%. So this is currently one of my favorite builds to run, guys. I personally like this build or my Banshee build that I showed you guys in my last video. I think this build works great in groups and even solo. I've gotten a lot of solo kills with this build. Yes, you're not going to win all your fights because say if there's 4 guys shooting you, it's really tough to survive no matter what build you're running when 4 guys are shooting you. But hey, that's what I love about this. It gives me a challenge. I'm having so much more fun using non-meta builds, and you most likely will never see me run a striker, a nomad, a Predator's Mark if I'm in a group. If I'm solo and I run across 4 manhunts, I may switch to striker, but besides that, you're probably never going to see me run those meta builds. I'm having a lot of fun running anti-meta builds, so you'll probably see me running my Banshee build, you'll see me running this Ninja build, and I am working on my Alpha Bridge build that I will bring to you guys in the future. I know I released one a while back for Last Stand of Skirmish when 1.8 first dropped, but I made a lot of changes to it and I'm tweaking it out and still playing with it, and I'm working on a bunch of non-meta builds that you guys might have fun with, and this is the build I've been running, guys. I hope this helped you guys out. If you guys still have questions on this build, let me know in the comment section. Remember, you guys can tweak these builds. These builds are just templates to get you guys going in the right direction. If you want to add more firearms because you want to hit it a little bit harder, it will work with this build. If you want to be a little bit more tanky, you can stack more stamina. I personally think that 6,500 stamina is about the minimum you want to keep. Some guys might run a little bit less and run that glass cannon firearms. That's really up to you guys. That's just a personal preference on how you want to play your builds. If you just want to be a straight glass cannon that you can melt somebody, but you're most likely going to get melted right after that, however you guys want to play your builds, play them to your play style. If you feel that you do good with it, enjoy it, man. Remember, if you guys are new to my channel, the first time you're watching a video, you'll hit that subscribe button. If you want to watch me live playing any of my builds, especially I've been playing my non-meta builds on my streams, twitch.tv/nothing but skills. If you don't see me at Last Stand, if you don't see me in Skirmish, if you don't see me in the Dark Zone, it's only a matter of time. Nothing but skills is out.